Yeah, it might be. This is only speculation, though it might be because you have been blackmailed and brainwashed into an ideology. Well, being forced to work for anybody who makes enough cash to rent your body, just so that you can make it another month. And I've learned acceptance of this concept of renting people as basic necessity for our society to run. Leads to good people destroying the place, country and green earth. Those with a lot of money don't need to worry about the access to food and houses. Those with no money live in anxiety. Not everybody wins. Yeah. Some just train your body and are victims of them in themselves. Some are at the top of the pyramid and put in 100 hours of work per week. Meanwhile, their years are planned on the minute. They are victims of the mill themselves, but they get 200 times the money you get. Okay, tell me more, does it really sense? Okay, just to get as much money as the richest ones, you have to work. During the whole history of mankind, some who command a workforce of 700,000 people, those are the true rulers of the world, who win with every breath their loyal workers make. If I make some sense of every hour you work, and if I multiply this by 700,000 times, then I will get the revenue of lifetimes of work. Whole lives of work, just in 1 hour. 700,000 working hours put in for me as company owner. The profit belongs to the leader. Tell me, does this make sense? Tell me, is this fair? Tell me, is this the world you wanna live in? Or maybe I am completely wrong, yeah. Structure of the day was set by factory owners a few hundred years ago. They realized when workers have a pause after 4 hours, they are more efficient afterwards. Realize you are trained to be workforce. From the first day in school, you are trained to work every day and to follow orders. You are the peasant, following the command of the royal leaders. The school system is 100 years old. Kids of the elite go to special schools. When you're rich, you can send your kid to a better school. That the elite connects with the elite, and the peasants remain in their circles. All the people are trained to react to the bow, commanding the beginning and the end of a powerhouse. Free people indoctrinated. Prison system is using innocent people as workforce. With the same structure, stored in a little room. The bells signaling the beginning and the end of a pause. Ring, ring, yeah. Ring, ring. Hallways to cross a working room to get to. Making profit for someone who rents your life. Every minute you can work, just like a grown plant. Looking at the animals, they have it much worse. Those who don't fight back, their whole life is used just as means to make profit. Their whole life is just used to make money. Meanwhile, you by yourself see stars who tell you, follow your heart, I am rich, just to get you motivated by the idea of becoming rich. Look who is behind the black man, telling you he's rich. It's a white man in the back, still a white man in the back, getting the paycheck. And you work 9 to 5, it won't make you rich though, even it's hard work. Tell me, does this make sense to you? Maybe I am wrong, this is just speculation. Maybe it's the peasants owned by the violence of the Lord. Yeah. You tell me by yourself. I don't know shit, no. Yeah. Getting that presentation ready. Yeah. And it all needs to squeeze some extra hours of your 9 to 5 work, of your psyche and your good. Tight deadline will put some pressure on you. Stay in the structure, don't have own thoughts. The day is over. Have a weekend though, okay, relax, get your stuff together, whatever. Spend a day with your family or two and then get back to work, yeah. And the tight deadline so sweet, it will press a 12-hour day out of you. Or working through the night, really cool. Yeah, yeah. Look at those little tricks to make some money. Yeah, yeah. Getting workers to make some money. Yeah, yeah. And then you make the presentation ready, so that the persons who own your time can make some extra cash. When they hire supervisors, they can get some extra productivity. When they hold motivational speech, they can get some extra productivity. A few 100 years ago, when we are introduced to the factory system, a lot of slavery was abolished. People were brought into the factory system. Sometime with violence, sometime with death threats. Old structures of goods owned by a small society, they will vanish, they will vanish. The system of royals and peasants vanished. They used violence and slavery as a threat to force people into the factory system. This is the origin of a time. This is the origin of this time of technology. Maybe I am wrong, tell me. Maybe I am wrong, tell me. Maybe this is all just speculation. Tell me by yourself. And when that nice sweet day is put perfectly together, so that you're super productive, all it needs is an extra burnout. Yeah, factory owners wrote books back then about how workers owe them everything, that the worker of the factory has to be efficient, because they live off the money of the generous factory owner, and so optimize the day. Factory owners realize workers will produce more if they have a little spare time. It was all erased around machines in the factory. If workers get the pause, then they will produce more pieces in better quality. We live the design of a life made by rich people of the past. The only people who win are those who ran our flashback bodies until we go into retirement, when our body cracks down step by step. Oh yeah, on the last steps of our life, just before we die. Old people live through this over and over. When we are useless for the company owners, then they drop us. And from the perspective of the CEO, he will be dropped someone. He finds the meaning of his life in controlling other people to get better numbers. Meanwhile, economy kills the ecology, yeah. Death to a planet Overproduction, overconsumption, just to get the mill running, yeah. Just to get the mill running, yeah. Keep it running, keep it running. Tell me, am I insane? Is this speculation or reality? Is there a grain of truth inside the speculation? Yeah, 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 yeah. What do we live for? There were always peasants and always, in some senses, wrong. We started farming only maybe 20,000 or 60,000 years ago. Before that, people worked 46 hours per day, just following the ways of nature. And when they settled down, they started wars. They started fighting. They started cities. They started violence against each other. Nomads would cross the path and say hi, but they would have no territorial interest, because they would be moving anyway. Yeah, yeah. And those who make the food, the most basic necessity, they are held down by the leaders, hold down on the ground, yeah. And the society collapses when the food, resources, water, land, health gets low. Those are the basic necessities. Today we live for gadgets, technology we don't need, but we use advertisement, yeah, 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 to tell them people that they need to buy shit. Hey, buy some more shit, buy some more shit with the spare money you have, yeah, yeah. Buy some more shit to prove the status, to prove your worth. Buy some brand shit, a name tag on by a super rich guy. Give them the money you have from your work, that they can buy another island, yeah. Maybe this is not true, it's all just speculation, yeah. Coming closer to the end, coming closer to the end. A child is hopeful, maybe it wants to improve the world or find work which makes a lot of sense. Heal people, heal sick ones, heal sick animals, help others, and then they find themselves in a job working for a multinational. Over time, the big companies are new judge of a day and age. They destroy all the small companies, yeah. The new mega factory, yeah. We can use those few years of a life at the end for self-retirement. Some people die when they go into retirement. Sometimes they are just too old, and all of my vitality, when we controllable, is used not to create goods and services we daily need as humans. You'll find yourself working, maybe in a structure, where some bullshit is going on just to get better numbers. So many people hate Mondays, so many people hate the job, because it feels senseless to them, yeah. Okay, yeah. But the stuff that we produce is nowadays very often really shitty quality. It needs to break early that we buy new stuff. It's unnecessary, but brought to us we are commercials that we buy every shit they sell us. With that little money we got left after we paid for the most basic necessities for survival. Tell me, am I insane? Is this speculation? Or is there a grain of truth within this? I think there are solutions. Yeah, all the people who work in the mill are trapped in the same mindset, yeah. And still they tell of those millions and billions of workers working 3 jobs that they can make it. A day has 24 hours. How can you make 200 times the money? You can only work 2 times as long as the others. But we say, hey, he worked really hard, he earned that money. Okay. Just so that the holy employers get their rent money back they invested when the workers buy their shitty services and goods, because advertisement told them working bees 3,000 times per day to buy into the set of specific ideas. Buy this shit. Hey, I think we can put an ad here telling people buy this shit. The factories need their money back from the people after they bought the necessities. And so you watch the propaganda of a modern day and age. Commercials keeping you in line. Maybe this is just speculation. Maybe there is no grain of truth within this. I am not the one to tell. Maybe this all is just fiction, or it is the state of things, yeah. And you pay the rent to the landowner, and you pay those who produce the food, yeah. And you pay that they exploit and kill animals. They get nothing, they are just means to an end, means to make profit. What is the money a little cow gets? It's nothing. All the expenses are reduced. Animals fed with their brethren and sisters. Yeah, take the cow, make her pregnant with a human hand. Take the male child baby of the mother cow. It's just a disturbing factor in the line of milk production. So they kill it early, stab it, stick a knife into the neck. We are all just means of production. We are useless tools. Even the top manager on the top of the pyramid, so lonely with so many enemies. He is just a tool of production, and he enforces the ideology with so much power, and therefore he gets back extra much, yeah. What do you do when you have $100 million on your bank account? How do live people without that kind of money? How to live people a regular life with just 2 million? How to live people with $1 per week? There are people on this earth who earn nearly nothing. And so the system made up by a few white men who are already dead, who reproduce their ideas. They settled down because the workers of Europe, they couldn't see their children work anymore, so they settled out in the global south, and they told themselves that they're smarter and higher beings. The baseline of this ideology to me is that we tell ourselves that we're rational beings. A rational being is more worth than an irrational being. Yeah, look at them other animals, they are like machines. And when the French philosopher Descartes proclaimed, I think, therefore I am, he claimed that the basis of existence is rational thought, undermining emotions. And the water reacted and said, if those animals are merely machines, why do they have nerves though in the body? Why do they have nerves though in the system? How can you explain this? And so we are ancestors, responsible for multiple genocides. They settled out to conquer the world. They exported their system of modern day slavery, and to themselves they told, we are the rational beings. They are primitive. Look at their skin, it looks different. Therefore they must be of lesser worth. This is just made up ideology of white men. Maybe I am insane. This is just speculation. Or maybe there is a grain of truth within this. We had many types of revolutions, and just killing rich men won't solve the problem. Another one will fill the gap when they kill the kings and the royals and the nobility and the French revolution. There were other people just taking their place. We don't need to change people, we change people all the time. New generations replace old generations. We change people all the time, we don't need to kill people. Time will erase everyone. What we need to change is the ideology, which is reproduced by our culture, core tradition, given on and on and on and on and on and on to our children, so that they learn racism. A baby doesn't know racism, and then when they grown up they learn racism. Black people learn to hate themselves. What is shit? This is fucked up. Black people wish that they have white skin. What is shit? This is fucked up. Black is a beautiful color. Look at the dark skin, it's beautiful. The same way the white skin and the light skin is. All skin types are just different colors, and we use ideology just to claim some are of lesser worth, just to use them for our system of exploitation. Yeah, maybe this is insane, this is just speculation. Yeah, maybe there is a grain of truth, a grain of truth within this. How can we break? How can we leave this ideology behind? We eradicate nature. Rich white men dream of colonizing Mars, and there are chains of CEOs controlling supervisors, controlling workers, controlling lower supervisors below them, that all the people stay in line. All the people stay in line, afraid to speak up or feeling lonely. There are billions of workers afraid to speak up or feeling lonely, feeling like they can't change anything, yeah. Look how we treat nature. We eradicate species, we eradicate forests, we eradicate ocean lives. We kill 70 billion farm animals on land per year. 2021, we kill trillions of animals in the sea, just that we can have the nice taste of flesh, meat, milk, fish and eggs. This is our culture. We invented cheese 4,000 years ago, taking the mother's milk of a different species. The milk that they produce for the babies to grow. We make them make milk every year, every year, every year, every year, every year, every year, in a constant circle. A mother's cow is born into the system of animal hostagery. How do you wanna call this when a cow's trapped her whole life, impregnated over and over, just that she produces milk, and then when she's too weak she gets killed? How do you call this? How do you call this? Maybe I'm just insane. Maybe I'm just insane. This all is speculation, You need to check the facts by yourself. I proclaim humans don't need to use animals as hostages anymore. We can let this be, we can leave this behind. I proclaim we can leave slavery behind. I proclaim we can grant access to basic food, housing, healthcare, and all the basic necessities to everyone. I proclaim that a human wants to participate in a meaningful way by themselves. Yeah, I proclaim we can trust them humans, that they will find something meaningful for themselves to participate in society. I proclaim that we can make it there, where no one needs to live in fear, where no one needs to starve, where no one needs to die. No human needs to die because they don't have access to water. I proclaim we can make it, we can pass this ideology. Yeah. Right now the owner of a company doesn't get all the revenues that the workers create. They also get the rest of the money the people have left. And we all defend this specific idea with our speech. This is the most crazy part to me. People trapped in the mill defend the system of self-exploitation. They defend this with their will. It's like a slave defending being enchained. And this is how ideology works. It's a virus in the brain, created by the slave masters. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. This is just speculation though. But look at a company nowadays. It turns into a cult more day by day. Look how they have their cult leaders, how they have their cult speech, how they chant the name of the company, how they get into this new religion of corporatism. Look at the signs they use. Yeah, brands use design alchemy, once used for religion, once used by tribes to connect themselves to the sun. They used to sign alchemy to create their own cult. And you have the idea of a so-called greater good, which after all just blinds workers into obedience to do more for the multinational structure, to create more revenue for the leader. Isn't this a little bit like a cult? They hired the workers and now they control the minds, so that they put in some extra time, extra hours, extra energy for free on top. Isn't this like a cult? Isn't this in some way the same thing? And the ideology is reproduced without reproduction. The idea technology dies. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am wrong. This is all just speculation though. Maybe there's a grain of truth within this. I'm not the one to decide. There were so many revolutionaries, their ideas and faces have been turned around. Look at Jesus, he was made the face of a big institution, who killed millions, who created new kinds of slaves. Look at Jesus, they used his name, just a guy telling people to respect others, to give them free food. Jesus told people to share stuff, to take care of the poor ones, to respect everybody, the lower ones. Isn't it the same shit, the same problems we got nowadays? And just imagine there was speech long before we wrote down things. So how many revolutionaries have been produced by this system of hostage state mentality? Look at Gandhi, look at all those, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Erykah Badu. Look at all those, Rosa Luxemburg. Look at all those justice movements, fighting for the rights of beings, fighting for animals, fighting for humans, fighting for women, fighting for black people, people of color, indigenous people, fighting for poor people, fighting for refugees. We can leave this behind. We can leave this behind. We can leave this behind. We just need to stop to reproduce the ideology. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is just a figment of my imagination. Look at Marx. I am not here to make a speech or defend speech now. He was just another revolutionary used by powerful people to control the poor peasants. Isn't it the same thing if you use a peasant and control his life? If you're royal, if you're government, if you're a company, where's the fucking difference when you control a life? No, we need to get beyond this. We need to be creative. We need to find new ideas. We are smart. We have fucking technology. We can write things down. We can look at things. We can check things out. We can build new things. We can build new structures. You can look at every revolutionary in history. We can learn. We can learn. Everything that's put in the internet will remain there. We can learn. We can say meaningful things with art. We can create a new kind of society. What are utopian thoughts anyway? What is it when I investigate the state of things? I just look at things, yeah. And when you find that someone was murdered or put as hostage in a cellar, you can free them, or you can respect them afterwards. You can make sure to prevent another murder, to prevent another hostage state. You can change things. And these are my final words. I proclaim we can change the state of things based on our emotions and our ideas, our actions. All of human culture is just what we do, what we think, how we feel, how we act. It's the vibe we give off. It creates that energy. And if the energy is the energy of a free being, of universal respect towards every being, thinking outside the box, thinking outside ideology, thinking outside programming, when this is the energy we collectively used to live, it's the energy of a free being, using all the vitality we have as species, using all the intelligence we have as species, using all the empathy we have as species. We can create heaven or hell on earth. We have all the potential. It just depends how we use our perspective. Are we able to change our perspective? If so, we can see new possibilities, we can see new ways. Someone already successfully abolished slavery. We just need to abolish the hostage state over and over, to end the reproduction with a new alteration, with a new way of looking at things. We need to create a new culture for the sake of everybody.